Alright guys, welcome back to Linda's Pantry. So today I'm making another dog food recipe. And so what I'm going to start with, instead of using rice, I like to mix it up and get them different grains in their diet. I'm going to use some barley. So I've got pearl barley here, and I'm going to cook it the way I would cook it for my family. So it's kind of a longer process, but it's worth it in the end. So I just barely cover it with some water. You don't have to measure the water. Bring it to a boil. And after I get that all cooked up, I will show you the rest of it. On this one, we're going to do seafood. Dogs love fish. And I'm going to use sardines packed in water. They have a lot of calcium. They have a lot of the stuff that we need to have healthy joints and a heart and all that stuff. They need it also. And so we're going to chock this full of vegetables and some sardines, some flaxseed, a multivitamin, and I'm also going to add in some steel cut oats. But we'll do that a little bit later. So I'm going to get to chopping, and I'll bring you back when I've got it a little further along and you can see what I got going on. All right, you guys, I'm back. I've got my barley is just about ready to receive everything else. And so what I've got here is I've chopped up in pretty small cubes some carrots, and I put the broccoli through the Vidalia chopper also. It made really easy work of that. So I've got some broccoli there for them. I've decided to back Libby off of as much commercial dog food. I mean, we feed them good dog food, but I'm just wondering if I back her off, if it'll keep her allergies at bay this year, because she gets horrible allergies. So the other thing I'm going to add to this is 3/4 of a cup of steel cut oats. And that changes up the rice, even though they love rice. You know, it changes it up. And I've got here some chopped cilantro. You can use parsley, either one. They're excellent for them. Cilantro is a great thing to get rid of heavy metals in your system. And so any of these dark greens, you could totally do this out of food storage. Use dehydrated vegetables that you've got, that you've dehydrated greens like the kale, any of that. You could totally do this from food storage and know that your animal is going to be there with you. So again, if you watch or if you read the book a second after, well, you'd be on board with this. So I'm going to add my veggies. You can leave them on the raw side. You don't have to cook them to death. So I'm going to I'll leave them out until I'm almost ready. I'm getting ready to dehydrate the rest of this cilantro. So I can get that going. Put my steel cut oats on. Steel cut oats takes about 45 minutes when you're making oatmeal, and oh my gosh, is it worth it. It is delicious and so good for you. So why not give my dogs the same benefit, right? So while I got you here, I'm going to show you how I do the cilantro. When I brought these home, I put them in a big old tub of water, leave the ties on them, and let all the dirt kind of settles to the bottom, and you're ready to go. You're ready to go on the dehydrator. Basically, you rinse them and let them dry really good, and then whenever you're ready to get this party started, you're good to go. They're still a little wet. And then the chickens will get those greens that are on the ends. The other thing, like when I did the radishes, I do the same thing. I just fill the sink with a big thing of water and wash everything. Let them drain really well in a big old colander, and you're ready for the next go round. I don't always have time as soon as I get home, so I just put them back in the bags and wait till I have a moment, like right now. Since I'm doing the dog food, might as well. And then we have homemade cilantro again. And like I said, it gets to go in dog food. It's okay. I quite often do parsley also for them. next dehydration will be parsley, I'm sure, because I go through a lot of parsley. Cilantro, it goes into my salsa and my mixes like that, but I don't go through as much, although very healthy for you. Okay. So I just got a couple trays. I like to have at least 4 trays on my dehydrator for air circulation purposes, so I'll put that on a bottom tray and we're good to go. That'll go over there. And you gotta watch your pot of stuff because it will boil over, like mine just did. Because of the starch, it tends to want to boil over, and I didn't put any oil in that. I guess I should have, just to keep it from doing that. But anyway, so that's what we got going on. I'm gonna get that dehydrator going. And I think later on we're making jelly. It's going to be a busy day. Anyway, I'm glad you're enjoying the videos for the dog food. And, you know, somebody asked if I had any cat food recipes. And I might, what I'll do is at the end I'll type a really good one. I don't have cats, but I do have a really good recipe. So I'll type one out for you and put it at the end as a ending slide for you, for those of you that have kitty cats at home. I'm just finding, as I do research on all this stuff, that I've been doing a good thing by the dogs by having this available to them over their kibble, but man, they put a lot of garbage in dog food. And I think we could probably feed them more reasonably and eliminate a lot of health problems feeding them right. So that's my take on it. Anyways, I'll be back and share some more. All right, guys. You'll have to excuse the pounding. My husband's taking a door off. We're moving a large object into the house this week, and so I have to take a bedroom door off to get it in here. So I've got the barley and the steel cut oats in here. I'm going to go ahead and put the vegetables in and let them simmer along with it. It'll help make a nice stock for them. I'm not going to put the fish in until the very end, because you can imagine what my house would smell like. It's already cooked. It just needs to be mixed in. And so what I really like is to have about 50% of it be a carbohydrate, a starch of some sort. And then or to 60% actually. It's probably closer to 60. And then you're going to have your 20% vegetables and 20 to 30% protein is really a good estimation of what they could be getting. Now, that being said, I'm not an expert. I have done my research, and please do what you think is right for your pets, and don't take my word for it. Go online and research. This is just what I do for my dogs, and they're really healthy, except that I think Libby could be healthier as she gets older, and I'd like to see her not have allergies this year, and I just have been finding that that could be alleviated. So anyways, I'm going to put for this pot 3 of the scoops of the milled flaxseed when it's done. So there's about a tablespoon and a half in each of those scoops. That is really good for their the pads of their feet, to heal them faster. We give it to them every day over their food while they're hunting, and so while they're on the off season, they're just going to get it in smaller amounts. And it's good for their joints and all their organs. It's really, really healthy for them. So I encourage you to even, just supplement their diet once in a while. So anyhow, I'm going to close this until that's ready to put in a container and add the fish. All right, so we're almost done. The liquid's almost absorbed, and it smells really good. I had some extra kale that I had dehydrated. I threw that in here. So I'm going to give this barley a taste and see if it's tender and the oats are tender. We have a little bit further to go, but not bad. And it tastes delicious. I can taste all the vegetables. So like I do with the rice a lot of the time, I'm going to add a couple of eggs just because I have an abundance, and it's a really good source of protein for them and vitamins. so I just pop a whole egg there up on top. And whoop. Libby is going to be so excited. I don't add any salt in here. I really, I added some chicken bouillon to the last one, and that's more because you feel you need to. Foods to stay away from for dogs would be grapes, onions, macadamia nuts, processed. It just, you're better off to do it this way. Just because the chemicals that they put in it, you might as well just feed them dry dog food if you're going to do, open up a bunch of things that have nitrates and such in there. And this is about the consistency I want when it's all said and done. So I might add a little bit more water. Looks like the oats are really soaking it up. And we're just about ready to get her stuff in a container. So I'll bring you back when the eggs are all cooked and the oats are finished. Alright, so this has all come together. This is the perfect consistency that you want. It's still hot. But the eggs are cooked. The barley and your oats, your steel cut oatmeal is done. And the vegetables, how healthy is that? I mean, this is just really a healthy diet. For us, for them, I wouldn't necessarily want to eat this with fish in it, but so I'm gonna put the flaxseed down, and then I want 3 scoops of that for her. Well, for them. Sage is gonna get this too. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut her dry kibble in half because I don't want to shock her system. All of a sudden now she's getting, something new, and dogs have a very sensitive digestive system. So I'm gonna put some sardines in one of these Mylar packs down here. It's a 3.53, and these were packed in oil. But the oil is good for their coat. And I did put a little olive oil in there. I don't remember if I said that. I did put a couple tablespoons of olive oil just because it's good for their coat. And then I'm going to open up another can of sardines. I think these are critical to have in your extended pantry. It's very high in protein. I'm pouring the water from that in there as well. These are high in protein. It's a good source of calcium, and because you're getting all the bones and everything are cooked until they're soft, and so it's really good for you actually if you like fish. Now there's a lot of people that do not like fish, but I can tell you my dogs love fish. So the other thing that I would stay away from with dogs is pork. I don't really give them pork. They can't digest pork bones at all, and so I just stay away from it completely for them. I stick to chicken, turkey, beef. They get a lot of venison and elk because when we, if we're blessed enough to harvest an animal, all the scraps get cut off and they are for them. So there you go. Got it all mixed up. I've got my container, and this is one of those Ziploc containers, but this is the perfect size for this pan. And it should last her, it won't last her quite a week because I'm not going to be giving her as much dog food. I'm going to cut her back to half her kibble and replace it with this until probably 3 or 4 days, and just gradually keep backing it off and see how she does with this, and watch, what she's doing. And at least it doesn't smell fishy. But look how good that is. And then a multivitamin, if you were going to switch completely over, a good multivitamin, you want to make sure that you don't get anything fancy. They do need some calcium in their diet, so either through milk or cheese products or fish is a good source of calcium. So there you go. There's my homemade dog food number 2. And this one's more of a complete food for them than the other one. The other one I would have wanted to have some kind of meat other than just the eggs. So anyway, it's always good to keep it in balance. You know, if you just add meat to your dog's food, you're just adding protein. It's probably not the best balance. You need to balance it with a good healthy grain, not corn, and some good healthy vegetables. And there you go. I'll be back when I feed her. All right, guys. End result of the dog food game. We're going to see if they like it. I'm going to pour a little bit of hot water. And remember, I soak their dry kibble because of the bloat thing. And I found out from one of my subscribers, which I did not know, that you should be feeding your dogs up off the ground like a step. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to go buy dog food dishes that are up off the ground, or we're going to rig something up. Libby's okay on the step. I got to figure something out for Sage. But the water is so that they don't go drink a bunch of water and then the dry dog food swells up in their gut. And the only reason I'm really putting water on this now is to give them something warm. It's been very windy and cold, and who doesn't like a warm meal? Okay, we're going to see how they like it. So you're going to have to bear with me because it could be puppy wars. You never know. When it comes to Sage, it usually is. No, she's such a good dog. She's just still such a puppy. She's only 1.5 years old, German Shorthair, and they are wired for sound. Anyway, so I'll take you out there and show you what they think about this. Well, hi guys. How are you? This is their space in the garage. Just so you guys know, we don't lock them in a kennel. And that's their sleeping box. It's big enough for them to get in, and it holds the heat in. The lid actually lifts up, but we've got kennel up on top. So, and we had to shrink the door because Sage drags all the doggy beds out. Huh. Because she thinks they're delicious. Hi, honey. Do you want dinner? Yeah. Okay. There goes dinner. Let's see what Sage thinks. Okay. Ooh, she likes it. Okay, so we're going to go on over. Come on, Sage, or Libby. Come on, let's go. Libby, come on. See what Libby thinks. She said, oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed. Are you going to watch me? I'm embarrassed. Don't embarrass me on camera. And don't put that on YouTube, okay? Because that really is embarrassing. All my friends talk about it. I just love her. She's such a sweetheart. Looks like she likes it. Okay, guys, I'll keep you posted. And hope this inspires you. I hope it brings you to a point where you start thinking about your animals as far as long-term, if something was to happen, what we could do to replace their food supply. And this is totally an option. You just have to allow for it when you're doing your preps. So, anyway. Oh, I love her. She's 11, and she's still a hunting machine. So, don't let her fool you. All right, guys. I hope you give me a thumbs up if you like this. And if you really like it, post it on your Facebook page and share a recipe with your friends. All right. God bless.